Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, sunshine to you. And thank you for that beautiful prayer. Oh God, I ain't got my teeth in my mouth. Let me go in. No, I'm gonna talk through it. It was beautiful and it was just what I needed. And you know what? Before I read it, I I started I was thinking, last night I didn't wake up between the night and get on my phone to get on you to get on to play a game to fall back to sleep. Neither did I nor did I turn on my Bible app to listen to the scripture for the day that's in the Bible reading that I'm reading. Let me close this one up. So, I went to sleep at 10. I went to sleep at 10:30. So I said, you know what? I'm going to turn this TV off and I'm gonna go to sleep so I could get some rest, so I could sleep all night. And that's what I did. And I woke up around 6:27, and then just pitter patter. You go to the bathroom, wash my hand, wash my face, brush my teeth, make my tea, drink my water, and then I looked at the clock and say 6:45, and then I said, oh my goodness, 6:45. So while I'm in the bathroom, I said, Lord, what's today? What's today? What is today? And it came in my mind, hope. Hope and change, hope and change and chance. Oh God, I got to put this teeth in my mouth. Hold on a second, y'all. I got to put this teeth in my mouth. Jesus, my rock, my rock. Now. Good morning, Miss Mimi. How are you doing? How are you doing? I was just getting started. I thought I could do it without my teeth in the mouth, but I had to put that teeth back in my mouth, right? And y'all, guess what? I went out yesterday and I went on the second floor, right, to the manager of the building. I went to her office yesterday. And so what they did for us, because a lot of older people that live here, elderly that live here, and because it's 55 and older. And I used to have to carry my grocery, go downstairs, load my arms up, bring it, drop it, and go downstairs and to pick the rest of it up. And people would bring shopping carts. And so I would use the shopping cart. And so they kept putting a sign up saying, no shopping carts. No shopping carts. And a lot of people don't have those little baskets, little carts and stuff like that. So the building manager was so nice. She went out and purchased two shopping carts, for people to use. And so I went downstairs yesterday. Got After I got off live, got myself dressed cause and went down and I said, well, I'm gonna go write my shopping list and everything. And so I wrote my shopping list. Oh God, y'all, I got to tell you about this drive to Walmart before I get started. And the lady was in the office and I said, I come to use one of the buggers. She said, oh good, Miss Maritha, go ahead. You can get Miss Gray, you can have it, get it. So, because normally I just walk in and get it, and because she usually be busy and stuff like that. So we were talking and stuff, and I said, oh shit. God forgive me for cursing. I said, but I ain't got my teeth in my mouth. I said, I ain't going back upstairs to get it. So I went on and sat downstairs, and I was, well, I ain't going to talk to nobody no way. So I'm just gonna sit down, and if I have to talk to somebody, I keep my hand over my mouth and tell them what happened. So on the way, the lady who took me, Bonnie, we were talking, and I said, you know what, Bonnie? I said, I forgot my teeth this morning. She said, oh, let me see. I'm going, And she said, "Oh, well, it don't look too bad." I said, I looked at Bunny and I just want, I just, girl, shut up. It do look bad. Teeth out, big gap, big gap. I don't, what the girl named Krishan, whatever her name. She's cute without her teeth. I'm not cute without my teeth. So we, oh girl, y'all just don't understand. That lady had me. That lady had me praying yesterday on the way to Walmart. Girl, that lady had me praying. In this area, they always, yard trucks everywhere. And they park like going through this little subdivision or whatever it is. And you had, go through there. And this lady was just driving so fast, almost like, and I'm going, how you be holding on brakes, your toes be all curled up. And I'm holding on, bunny, 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 bunny. And the drive, and the speed limit ain't but what? I think the speed limit 40, and this lady was doing every bit of like 50, and the truck and the caution coins and stuff was out there. And she said, "Oh, Marita, I see it." And I said, "Oh God." I said, "Lord, just please." In my head, I was saying, "Lord, please just let me get to Walmart safely." And she would just, when she just drive fast. I said, "Bunny, you like to drive fast, don't you?" Mind you, she told me, I thought the lady had one accident. The lady done had two accidents. And so I'm saying, now I understand why. So then, but she would just drive. I said, "Bunny, you like to drive fast, right?" She said, "Yeah, I do, but I'm getting better now." And I said, "Lord, please just get me to Walmart safe." So on the way back home, I was just like, oh, I was so, my anxiety. When I came home, I just had to sit down for a minute because, I had to get myself together. I was hungry when I had left. But when I came back, I said, I just had to sit down for a moment before I even put my grocery up. And I had ice cream in my bag and everything. I said, "Oh, Lord, thank you." Had to get my heart back beating fast and stuff like that. My heart was beating so fast, I had to get it calm down. And you know what? When you're used to driving yourself somewhere and you get in the car with someone else, because no, I don't feel safe with nobody but me. I don't feel, the only other person I feel safe with is my mom. When my mom used to drive, my mom is a good driver. She's a cautious driver, you know. And when I get in it, even with my daughter, she like to drive fast too. And I say, well, her car, I say, well, when this car right here, when you get ready to get a new car, you could get at the Jordan. Don't give it to me. Because that car have been, it is always the same bumper. When she get in trouble, get in an accident, it's always the same bumper. I said, "I don't want this car." I said, "God, this car done been in too many accidents and it's the same bumper." Or bumper. I don't feel safe being in the car when somebody else driving. I just don't. I just trust me and my mama driving. That lady had me so shook up yesterday. And then I said, "Lord, let me just go in and put up my grocery and stuff like that." But yesterday it was a beautiful day, even I went to, even though I was like scared, scared straight, I ain't gonna say what I wanted to say, but I was scared straight yesterday. And I'm gonna tell you, I the people that come on this channel, and like the one that come and say good morning, excuse me, some that have my phone number, or even the ones who don't have my phone number, and they DM me and lift me up and encourage me. They say, y'all say I encourage you, but you encourage me. I think I have the best people that come on in the morning because um just make me feel good to know that people are praying for me. People are encouraging me. People are uplifting me. That people that, I have a village. My tribe makes me feel really, really good. And I appreciate it. I more than appreciate it. I love you to life for it. And I thank God for each and every one of, I can't remember everybody's name in prayer, but when I pray, I ask God to bless my YouTube family, bless the people that come to morning conversations. I put you in my prayer. You're in my thoughts all the time. And my thoughts are good thoughts that God will bless you and in the areas that you need to be blessed in and heal you when your body's not, when your body don't want to cooperate. Y'all just the best. Y'all are just the best. And I have one, she just prayed for me. And this morning this morning, AKA, um, I thank God that, people pray for me. I really do. And I am learning how to accept. I am learning how to accept because sometimes I feel myself just giving, giving, giving. And the more you give, you're emptying yourself. And it's sometimes it for me it's like I don't want to do it no more because God, it's not going the way I want it to go. And God just keep on waking me up in the morning. Holy Spirit just get me up and get me at this desk. And sometimes, I have a thought about what I want to talk about. And sometimes I don't have a thought about what I want to talk about. And when I'm in the bathroom, y'all, I tell you, this is where everything comes to me at in the bathroom. When I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm, in the shower, when I'm just washing my face. And I just ask God a question, what today, Lord? What today? What today? What's today about? What's today about? And today is about hope, chance, and change. That's what today is about. Hope, chance, and change. And in the prayer that was sent to me this morning, there was one word that stuck out. And I was writing and thinking about this. I said, well, because I got two messages this morning. I said, well, let me see what my friend talking about. And it was a prayer. And I saw the top when it came up. I said, oh, she praying. So let me read. I'm gonna read it after I write this little bit down. And I read it and it was what I needed. It's what I needed and it's what I need for such a time as this. And it was one word in there and it was hope. It was hope. So, but before I start, I want to welcome everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Come hell or come high water, I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it because this today is a gift. This is a gift from God this morning. He did not pass me by. He blew a fresh anointing over me, over you, over us this morning. So I'm going to give him the praise. I'm going to give him all the glory because he and he alone deserves it. Today is April, oh my word, the 29th. April the 29th. You see how these days, these months are just zooming by. Do you know it will be Christmas next month? In a couple of more months, it'll be Christmas. It'll be Christmas. And I'm so truly thankful. I am truly thankful for that. I'm truly thankful for that. And hope, change, and chance. Hope, chance, and change. However you want to put it. Hope, chance, and change. Hope. And when I really did it, when I sat down at my desk after I finished making my tea, I said, oh my God, I got to write fast. And I said, when I write fast like this, Lord, I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm just rushing and I never want to rush God. I want to be still and wait on God. I want to hurry up and be still and wait on God. We hurry for everything else. So I'm learning how to hurry up and wait. Learn how to wait. Learn how to be patient because this is what God is teaching me now. Patience. Because everybody don't move. When I say move, Sometimes I don't move when I think I should be moving. I just sit there and be complacent or be lazy, just keeping it real. Just be lazy and don't wanna do it. Be hungry sometimes. Have you ever been hungry and too lazy to get up and go in the kitchen and cook something? I eat a bowl of cereal. Have you ever been like that? That's me. That's me sometimes. Happiest early birthday. Somebody, oh, AK, who my, yes, my birthday is Friday, May 2nd. Oh, well, happy early birthday. Your birthday is on us. Oh, girl, I know you're going to party till the roof fall in. April 2nd. Oh, my girl is back. Y'all, let's welcome Gouda back. I'm gonna say her name the way I see it, but she understands. She know I never could understand pronounce it. Guta. I'm just gonna say it like that. She's back. She's been under the weather. I thank God for grace and mercy. I thank God for his healing power. I thank God for never taking his hands off of her. I thank God that he was in the operating room with the doctors and the nurses and all the people that help perform this surgery that she needed. I thank God for her recovery. I thank God for her healing. I thank God for her. So, good morning, my friend. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, my friend. Shirley, divorced finally. Good morning, sweetie. Good morning. Good morning, hon. How are you? I listen every day. You're on It's good encouragement every day. I love it here, Auntie. You never know who you have touched listening to you. Please don't stop. Keep it up. Just for you, I would do just that. Good morning, lovely ladies. Miss Marita, aka Shirley, Sean, Mimi, um, Monica. Okay, I think that's Monica. Okay. So glad to be back. I missed y'all. And I missed you too, but I'm so glad you are allowing your body to heal properly. And sometime in our downtime, that's the time that we get um we could spend in devotion with God, in communion with God. We in communion. And good morning, my girl Sean. God's remind me that he is his timing and not mine. And we gotta always remember, sometimes we get like the old people used to say, you can't put the cart before the horse, that sort of way. You ain't gonna get nowhere if you're trying to put the cart before the horse. So let that horse be in front in that cart. You be sitting on that cart, and that horse gonna take you where you in that cart, whichever way you direct him to go. And I have a, you know what, and y'all, I done talked about forgiveness and stuff like that, right? And I mean, you know what true forgiveness is? Not just saying, okay, I forgive this person, or whatever. It's in your mannerisms. It's in your speech. Oh, I just be cordial. It's in your mannerisms. It's in your speech. It's in your attitude, the way you conduct yourself. Like when you say, I forgive a person. I have a church member, and I told you it was the lady about her and her daughter, right? And I felt kind of funny. We talked, but I still felt funny, and she still felt funny, and neither one of us was satisfied with what each one of us said. But in a sense, I was kind of avoiding her at church. She's a Zeta, so with these fraternities, that they have a lot of different things going on, and I'm always invited to some of the stuff when the AKAs are having something, or when the Deltas are having something, and but they always support each other. So right, and so I would see her at some of these things, and we would see each other, but we would avoid each other. We go to church together. We congregate on Sundays together. And in my mind, I'm saying, well, okay, Lord, I'm doing my part. But then God said, no, you're not doing your part. I didn't ask you to be cordial. That's your sister. She's your sister, and you are her sister. So you got to get it together. You got to be better than this. You are better than this. So the tea party coming around, and she said, "Oh, Miss Rita, I got a teapot." She got her little Zeta teapot set, and stuff like that. And she said, I got some vases if you want to use them. So I said, sure. I said, you could give them to Pat and give them to Pat. So she was in the hospital. I didn't know she was in the hospital because I'm not in her circle, right? So, but when I found out she was in the hospital, I would call her every now and then because I don't like bothering people when they're in the hospital. So she came to church Sunday. She got this big thing on her leg, got this boot on her leg, and I'm looking at her and said, "Why she came to church?" You know, I know she wanted to come to church, but we was having a conversation, chance and change, right? So I just took a chance and I called out to her. I said, why are you walking downstairs? Come walk down the wheelchair ramp. When she was almost down the stairs. So later on Sunday, I didn't call her Sunday. I called her Monday and was just having a conversation with her, encouraging her, asking her how she feel and to do what the doctor tell her to do. You know, if you feel, I know you want to come to church, but honey, your leg is not allowing you to move around too much. Be still when your husband is gone to work and your daughter is at working at school and your husband is at home. You know, have that communion time with God. That'll make you heal better, and your attitude determines how long it takes for your body to heal as well. If you not being still doing what if the doctor say 6 weeks, take them 6 weeks. Of course, you're gonna feel better, but still take that time out for yourself. As women, we don't like to do that. We got to take care of everybody and everything. No, that's what husbands are for. That's what children are for. What you can't do, this what you can't do, they're supposed to handle the rest. They're supposed to clean, cook, and everything else. While you take that time for your body to heal and for your mind to be regulated and be in communion with God. So this morning, and when I seen what friend the prayer that she had prayed for me this morning, and I seen that one word, that one, not, it ain't no one tiny word. Hope is a gigantic word. Hope covers a multitude of things. Hope can change your attitude. Hope can change your thoughts. Hope can change the way that you feel. And this morning, I like to look up the word to let people know what hope is. Hope is a feeling of expectations and desire for a positive outcome or a favorable future, often involving a belief in the possibilities of fulfillment. When you say I hope you get better. That's my desire for you to be better in your mind, in your heart, in the experiences that you have experienced. Hope, because when you lose hope, you might as well wilter up and fade away. When you become hopeless, hopeless is the opposite of hopeful. When you become hopeless, you don't expect nothing to work out for you. Nothing. You don't see no good in the day. You can wake up in the morning and feel so hopeless. And feeling so hopeless make you just want to stay in bed. Make you don't want to wash your behind, brush your teeth, wash your face, comb your hair, get dressed. You just, however you feel, that's the way you go out looking. And sometimes look at the people, when you're working or you're just out. Sometimes look at the faces of people. And then look at how some of the people that you're around, and you may not know that they're going through something right at that moment. But look at how they dress. Look at their facial how their face look. Look at, even your hair. Do you know your moods affect every area of your body? It affects every area of your body. How I know? Because it happened to me. Feeling hopeless. You got hair long enough, you just pull it back in a ponytail. And if it ain't long, you just pull it back in the ponytail and it still be looking all willy-nilly. Your skin look unkept. And don't stand too close. Don't stand too close, because you're gonna get a whiff of that breath, because they ain't brushed their teeth and stuff. I just don't care. I just and you feel so deep in despair when you're hopeless. It feels like you you may have dug that hole for yourself, or you may have fallen into a hole that somebody dug for you, and you feel like, man, I can't catch a break. And it's like you can't even breathe sometimes when you're feeling so hopeless. Always, we used to hear Jesse Jackson, for the ones who know. We used to hear Jesse Jackson back in his heyday say, keep hope alive. Always, when I wake up in the mornings, I usually do it on Sundays, and I say, Lord, I'm coming to your house with expectations. I am looking for something. I'm waiting on something. I am expecting something. I say, I'm just like a pregnant woman in her ninth month. I'm expecting a blessing. I'm expecting a supernatural healing. I come to your house with expectations. And I'm going to tell you something. As long as you keep the hope, and as long as you are moving with expectations, God will not disappoint you. You will never, ever be disappointed or let down by God. So always have that feeling, have that feeling of expectation. Don't always hope for the best and expect the best. You know, I stopped saying, well, I'm gonna hope for the best and expect the worst. No, I'm not expecting no worst. I'm gonna hope. If I'm hoping for the best, I'm gonna expect the best. Hope, expectations. I'm always like and I had a conversation yesterday with one of I like to call y'all friends. Well, I had a conversation with one of my friends yesterday. She said, Miss Maritha, it just broke my heart. We were just talking about some stuff, and I was giving her an illustration about not having a car. I haven't lost the car. The car gone. It's not like it's parked out there needing a new battery or somebody come and change the tire for me. It's gone. It cannot be resurrected. It's gone. So, and I was telling her Monday how I was feeling. She said, Miss Maritha, when I saw you crying, she said, oh my God, look at my auntie. She said, I just feel like I gotta do something. She said, I gotta help. I gotta help. So we were just talking, right? And so when I am talking with people, I'm trying to build them up. And then they turn around and start building me up and encouraging me. And in the conversation, she said, I know this person, he buy cars and he, fix them up and then he sell them. She said, now he'll help you, but he live here in Tampa. And I said, well, you know what? When I get the money where I want the money to be, then, we, hook us up. And it's just like people, you know, I am expecting the best. I am expecting the best. And when you have hope and expectation, God will place people in front of you every step of the way. Sometimes it looks so dreary and you can't see the whole garden because you're looking at that one plant that got weeds all look like it's just drooping, and you don't see the beauty in the whole garden because you're looking at that one plant. But when you start looking at the whole garden, it's like you can't see the forest for the tree because you're looking at that. When you just step back and analyze and reassess the whole situation, and then start feeling like, you know what, it could be better than this. It's gonna be better than this. It's not gonna always be like that. That's hope. I'm hoping for the best. I'm expecting the best. Hope and expectation. But none of that will happen if you don't take a chance on yourself. No, it don't look good. No, you don't have the educational background for that job. No, yeah, he left. Yeah, they talking about you. Yeah, you feel like they treating you wrong. But you know what? A chance. Just take a chance on yourself. Take a chance of yourself and just shake it off. Shake it. When you're shaking it off, that means you're shaking something. When you shake, something got to come loose. Something got to come loose. Something got to fall. Shake those negative thoughts off. Replace those negative thoughts. When a negative thought, replace it with something positive real quick, real quick, real quick, real quick. Find something real quick to when you feel like you're getting ready to be negative or say something negative, don't say nothing at all. Don't say nothing at all. Just take a chance on you. Take a chance on a situation. You know, if when you say, well, some told me to turn left. However, I'm just gonna keep going. Some say turn right, but I'm gonna keep going. But then when some tell you to turn a some way or something tell you to do something, that ain't no something. That's somebody. That's the Holy Spirit that's being God filled and God led to tell you keep straight. Keep straight. Don't lean on your own understanding. Take a chance on God. Take a chance on God. You ain't gonna never be disappointed. You ain't gonna never be let down. It's not gonna always be the way you want it to be. It's gonna be the way that God wanted to be. And if it's the way God wanted to be, it's gonna be better, abundantly than what you wanted. So take a chance. Take a chance on God. Take a chance. And you know what chance is? Chance is just taking a step of faith, not even knowing what Martin Luther King said. Faith is like walking up a staircase, not knowing where it's going to lead. But I'm going to have faith enough to walk this staircase, and I'm going to have expectations it's going to lead me to where I want to be. Hope, expectation, chance. Take a chance. Well, sometimes we're afraid to take a chance on ourselves. There's a girl in our church. There's a lady. She's a young lady in our church. She works for she worked for the police department, and she was a dispatcher. But there was a position that came up as supervisor in the coroner's office. So she was telling her co-worker, I'm apply for that job. So the co-worker told her, girl, don't apply for that job. They ain't gonna give you that job. So you know what she did? She prayed about it. We prayed about it. She came to church and we were at prayer meeting and she was talking about it. And she was lifted up in prayer and was told, you pray for yourself and you pray. And we were praying. So the day that she went to interview for that job, when she came back to church that next Wednesday night, and she told us she got that supervising position, a position that she wasn't educated on. She just wanted it, and she took that chance. She did not listen to what the naysayers said. She listened to what God said. And she listened to the prayers of the righteous, and the prayers of the righteous, the Bible tells us, availeth much. And she was telling us how, she got to take this class and she got to go to Tallahassee and she got to do all of this kind of stuff. And sometimes she be sitting in church and somebody somebody done got pop-out or somebody done, got, they unalive and done got in a bad car accident. Sometimes she be right in the middle of service and she'll get a message that she need to report to this scene. She need to report to that scene. So when people tell you don't do something, take a chance on yourself. And when you take a chance on yourself, have great expectations and always hope for the best. Always hope for the best. Because when you hoping for the best, that means you have a positive outlook. And don't you know hope will change your whole being? It would even change the way that you look, even though you're going through hell, even though you feel like you're in a battle, even in your own mind sometimes. Joyce Meyer said the mind is a battlefield. And sometimes there's a war that goes on inside of us, that good nature and that bad nature. And sometimes we just allow that bad nature just to take over sometimes. But long as we keep hope and we keep praying and we just take a chance on, we take chances on everything else. You know you got the rent money, and you know the rent is due in 3 or 4 days, but there's a sale going on. And I got this outfit because I got the purse and I already got the dress, but I seen these shoes. And you just can't buy the shoes. You got to go buy some new hair. And then when you start buying one thing, you go buy another thing. You take a chance spending money that you ain't got. You take a chance spending money you ain't got. So why not just take a chance on doing something positive? Take a chance on you. Take a chance on a situation. Take a chance if there's a job that you want to go for. Take a chance. Who's to say that you won't get? Who is to say that you won't get that chance? Long as I'm hoping I get this chance. Hope I'm expecting. I'm expecting. You know what? I am expecting God to do what God say He's gonna do, but it's something that I need to do and I gotta do in the meantime and between time. I'm gonna have expectations. I'm gonna be so hopeful, and I'm taking a chance. Sacrifice. I'm sacrificing some things. I could give up something to get something. I can do that. I can do that. I have learned and I'm learning how to do that. Good morning, I am her. Good morning, honey. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And I'm just in a state of hopefulness, and taking a chance. I'm willing to do that on me and for me because I'm so full of expectations. And then another part of being hopeful is being resilient. It don't resilient means it helps you to cope with adversity. You done been through so much, and people don't even know how you still standing. People don't even know how you smiling because everything that you done been through, and because you're resilient. And it's things happening in your life right now. You don't even understand what you're doing or how you're doing it. You're not doing it under your own strength, because I see a lot of people. I come in contact with a lot of people that's taking care of their parents. I have a friend not only that's taking care of her parent, she's taking, she's like you, aka she's taking care of her aunt too. And it's looked like everything is just piled on her. Everything is piled on her. And every now and then I said, well, you wanna go to the gym? She said, girl, I need to go back. We had this conversation Sunday. She said, I need to go back. I need to go back. So I'm trying to help her realize, and helping everybody else and pouring into everybody else, you're going to get empty. And when you get empty, you're going to start feeling sick. You're going to start feeling resentful. So even though you're taking care of everyone, you got to take time out for yourself. And you're resilient. You're able to cope through any adversity and all adversity because of the hope. When you have hope, it helps you cope with whatever you're going through. I hope to get better. I hope the situation gets better. And with that hope and that expectation, and that you're taking that chance, you're not being idle. You're not just in the way. You're not just existing. With hope, you're living and living life to the fullest that you can live it, because you're being resilient. What you're not letting that issue, you're not letting the circumstances of life, you're not letting that situation weigh on you, because I'm hopeful and I'm expecting God to get me out of this. I'm expecting. That's why I like that song about what Leandrew saying, better days are coming. All you got to do, just keep waking up, keep moving forward, and keep being hopeful, and keep expecting. Because you know what? Power is in the tongue. And you have to speak things not as they are, but as you would want them to be. And the more you speak them as you want them to be, You're going to be moving towards it while you're speaking. And then one day you're going to put your hands on it. That's why I tell people, don't give up. Don't give up. That thing that you've been praying for, that thing that you've been hoping for, today could be the day. Today just might be the day that you get the answer. You may get an email and say, you got the job with everything that you done stipulated that you wanted in that job. You, you may have that job. And even if you're getting ready to go to the doctor or something like that, and you want to be hopeful, but you're still kind of anxious and a little, it said the Bible tells us be anxious for nothing and about nothing, because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Take a chance on yourself being hopeful and change. Change. When I was in going through AA, when I was in my past addiction, then I would go to meetings and they say, if nothing changed, nothing changes. If you don't change, ain't nothing gonna change. If you don't change your mindset, ain't nothing gonna change. If you don't take that meanings, that if you still harboring that unforgiveness, nothing ain't gonna change. Because you being so unforgiving toward a person that have wronged you. You may have think they have wronged you, and they could have wronged you, and you're gonna hold on to that. And you know what I always say: unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting that person to die, but you drunk the poison. So if you don't change your attitude, if you don't change your mindset, your way of thinking, and if you don't change the way you do things, ain't nothing gonna change. How do you want something different and doing the same thing? And with people change every day. People change every day, all day. They show you a face. They go to somebody else, show them a different face. We wear so many different faces. We wear so many different faces. And I'm so aware that now I heard my cousin say this so many years back. She said, she was teaching Sunday school. And she said, she was speaking of, she said, I wear so many different faces. I wear a face when I'm at home. I wear a face when I'm going to church. I wear a face when I'm out in public. I wear a face when I'm at work. I wear a face with this friend. I wear a face with that friend. She said, why I got to have all these faces? Why can't I just be? Just be. Then, that always stuck with me. So I said, I'm just going to be me. I'm gonna be me at church. I'm gonna be me at work. I'm gonna be me with this friend. I'm gonna be me with this one. I'm gonna be me with that one. I'm gonna be me with my children. And I guarantee you, if you talk to somebody about me, they're gonna tell you basically almost the same thing about me. Sometimes someone say she all right now, long as you on her good side. But when you get on her bad side, she's something different. She just something different. And what they mean by I'm something, she won't talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you. When I go dead, so I used to do it to people at Publix all the time. When I didn't want them talking to me, when I didn't feel like being bothered with them, when I just felt like, what, y'all just getting on that last nerve, I wouldn't talk. And I don't mean not today. And then, when I did start by talking, I did talk to one person constantly, but other people, mm-mm. And then how you joke with your co-workers when all y'all good. And they say, well, one thing about Miss Marie, you'll know when she upset with you, because I taught them how, you have to train people how, the verbiage that you use, right? Your words, what you use. And I said, I don't never get mad. I get angry. I said, but I don't get mad. I say, dogs get mad. I'm not a dog. So I get angry. And they say, well, when she get angry with you, she just ain't gonna talk to you. And she ain't gonna talk to you for days, months. It could go on for a long time. She said, that's how I know she was kind of she was upset with me, because she ain't never say nothing to me. She'll say good morning and that's it. And that's it. But when I decided to change, I said, you know what? I don't talk about what they're talking about. I'm not doing what they're doing. I don't go to places they go, but I'm working with these people. So I got to change my attitude. I got to change the way that I see these people because you know what? God said he made the sun to rise on the just and on the unjust. He said, I will do the separate. I will separate the goats from the sheep, the wheat from the tare. I will do the separating. So don't you try to do it. Let me do it. And then just changing my attitude, changing the way I looked at people, changing, the way I talk to people, just having a different mindset because when you're working, you don't want to be in a hostile environment when you're working. You want to be comfortable, or at least at best. You want to be a little bit at ease when you're working with other people. So I changed that. I changed the way I talk to these people. I changed my attitude towards some of them, and because I was so reminded when I'm telling my spiritual sister how I'm feeling about people and how they make me sick and I can't stand them and I don't like them. And she said, that's good. You don't like them. She said, but you got to love them. You got to love them. But you don't have to like the situation or you don't have to like what they're doing. So I learned how to change the way I talk and the way I say things. And then when I start saying I don't like their ways, okay, I don't like her ways then. And then things began to get different when I said I don't like her ways. I stopped not liking her. I started loving her, but not her ways. And sometimes I did used to antagonize this woman. I really did. Because she always talked about her man, my man, my man, my man, my man. And when I drop him off at work and I come to work and I say, how you know his girlfriend ain't, you know, pulling up soon as you pull up? But I know he ain't cheating. I say, well, how you know he ain't cheating? And I did used to antagonize her sometimes to make her feel the way she felt about me. So I had to change that because you don't talk to no woman like that about her man and stuff like that. Then the girl can't work she all pissed off at everybody for the rest of the day because I done told her nigga cheating, that his girlfriend, his side piece, picking him up. And then, you get off work and you go to see it, he at work, or you call him and asking him about where he at, what you doing. So I had to stop doing that because I used to do it. I used to do it on purpose too. And I used to tell her friend, you know, Jamila, her and Jamila was really tight before I got there. She had a problem with me anyway because me and Jamila used to go shop and me and Jamila call off from work. Or Jamila, I'll be at work and Jamila call me to about Miss Maritha call and tell them, to have somebody to call to say you got to leave work and I'd be over at in the parking lot at Walmart to pick you up. So then I used to do it. Or I'd be just getting ready to go to work and I said, why you ain't at work? She'd be sitting in the car. She said, I ain't going. You want to go? I say, but girl, I'm almost at work. Then she said, just go in there and stay for an hour. Just stay for an hour. And I do that. And then, I call Verena, tell Verena to tell a lie. But I said, I got to stop lying. But there's two things I didn't do. I didn't lie on my mama and I ain't lie on my children, on my grandchildren. Ain't nobody sick. I ain't telling that lie. I ain't telling that lie. But anyway, hope, chance, and change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If nothing changes, nothing change. And how do you know when you need to change? And when I first started YouTube, I would write down things that I wanted to talk about or whatever just popped in my mind, I would write it down. So I was looking through one of the tablets this morning and it says change. When it's time, you'll know when it's time for you to change. Things will begin to just happen. Things will go according to God's plan and his will. When God have an assignment for you and you just keep ignoring what God is putting in front of you, and God gives us warnings about things, about you need to change, you need to stop doing that, and you keep on doing it, You keep on doing it. God will give you a warning. Is that sign that you be asking for? God will show you that sign that you've been asking for. Like the doctor say, you know what? I need for your blood pressure. It's bad. It's bad. So I need for you to stop eating. I need you to stop eating that pork. I need for you to stop smoking and the excessive drinking. I need for you to stop because if you don't stop, there's going to be consequences and repercussions behind it. Now, God used the doctor to tell you about what you need to do. You paying your doctor, you paying that copay, and your insurance paying the biggest part of that doctor's visit. Or you might not even have a copay. So you not gonna listen to what the doctor say. You still gonna eat that pork chop. You still gonna eat that ham. You still gonna put them pig feet, hog maw, chitterlings, and all of that. You're gonna still be eating all of that. You gonna smoke. You gonna drink. You gonna have you about 3 or 4 drinks a day. And then when you go out to dinner, hanging with your friends, you gonna drink, you gonna smoke, you gonna pile your plate up with all them greens. We got the pig feet, the pig tails, with a side of ham, and then you wondering why you're feeling so woozy. Because the doctor done told you if you don't stop, this is gonna be the repercussion behind the consequences. But you keep doing it. You keep doing it. And God will let you know, okay, he will put you flat on your bike where you don't can't do nothing but look up. And people be saying, blank if you know it's me, mama. Blank 2 times if you know it's me, mama. Blank 1 time if you feeling okay. You know what I'm saying? So change. God will let you know. He'll give you them signs. He'll give you those signs that you need, and he will warn you. He will warn you. And it's up to you to take heed and take the proper steps for that change. And with hope and expectation, Jeremiah 29 say, God says, for I know the plans, the thoughts that I have towards you, thoughts of peace, not of evil, to give you an expected end. Because for every beginning, there is an ending. And if you draw a circle start at one point and it ends up at that same point. So whatever you do it with great hope. Do it with expectation. I'm expecting a blessing. I am expecting a supernatural, miraculous blessing. I'm going to stay hopeful. Even on my worst day, I'm still going to be hopeful. And wherever I need, you know what, y'all? Sacrificing right now. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a chance on me. I'm taking a chance that I don't touch this jar until I'm getting ready to put some money in it. I don't want to take nothing out until I'm taking it out, going to pay for this car, going to pay to get it registered and paid to do whatever it needs to be done. I'm going to be hopeful, and I'm going to take that chance that I don't do it. And I pray that God keep my mind covered from the negative thoughts. And I was telling 2 friends yesterday, we were on the phone, and I told both of them the same thing. I said, I can remember a time, and Lord knows I remember a time that with this money that I have now, I'll be broke as a joke. I'll be dead as broke. God forgive me for cursing. I'll be dead broke. You know why? Because I would have been smoked it up. I would have been smoked it up. I would have been there, went and bought me some crack rock, bought me 2 bags of weed, and bought me something to drink. And I would have been there, smoked it up. And not knowing how I'm gonna start over, not knowing where I'm gonna get the money from, because I'm a diva on a budget, and I said, and I would have been sending, oh Lord, God ain't had nothing to do with that. I wasn't thinking about God when I was beaming myself up, smoking. I wasn't thinking about God then, but I'm thinking about God now. And when I think about that, I just say, you know, I am so, I am so encouraged by the fact, and I'm so happy by the fact. And I was telling them, I'm so proud of me. I don't wait for somebody to say, I'm so proud of you, Mom. I'm so proud of you, Miss Marita. I'm so proud of you, Marita. I'm so proud of me. I tell Marita, I say, self say, hi. I say, I'm so proud of me. Some say, as you should be. I am proud of me. And not to say I haven't had next Saturday, I had to struggle, y'all. I was struggling. That's why I asked y'all to keep me lifted up in prayer, because I was struggling Saturday. It wasn't about going out and doing drugs and stuff like that. You know, it was about, okay, my mind, I'm in here laying in the bed, minding my own business. And then Self said, you know what? We low on clean towels for our face. You low on your facial products. You know you done ran out of detergent, and you don't have this and you don't have that. So you got that money. Go on and use that money for what you need that money for. And I love myself some ham too. And and going to use that money for what you need it for. And I said to myself, I'm not going to touch that money. And I look, and you know what I did? I even went and started looking at the bottles and saying, well, I could hold off to the first, because I could hold off to the first, because the first going to be what, Thursday. I could hold off to the first or the second, so I can go and replenish. But I'm gonna tell you how good God is, right? I'm gonna tell you how good God is, y'all. I told y'all about on the way to Walmart, right? So you know, by the money that my friend had sent and my son had sent, I had a little bit of that money left over. So in my house, when I get down to like one roll or two roll of paper towels, I don't like to have one or two rolls of paper towels. I feel comfortable and I feel more safer when I have like 5 rolls of paper towel. And I had only 4 rolls of toilet tissue. So I said, you know, I got it. I don't feel comfortable because I think a house should keep paper towels and toilet paper. So I went and bought me another 6 pack of toilet paper, and I bought starch because I love to iron my starch and iron my clothes. So you know, God is the way. So the way has already been made. So God gonna make a way where I didn't see a way. The way God had already made that way for me, and when God had made that way, God start letting me see, babe, the way has already been made. So all you got to do is just walk in it. But there's some things I need for you to do while you're walking in it. I need for you to be hopeful. I need for you to be expecting. I expect for you to take a chance. I expect for you to change. And there's something in all of us that we need to change. There is something in all of us that needs to change. And I remember writing this down. Those who take chances make advances. Because if you don't take a chance, you're going to be stuck right where you are. You're going to be in place. You're not going to advance. You're not going to move up. You're not going to see that blessing that you have been waiting for, that blessing that you've been crying and whining to God about. You're not going to see it because you don't want to take that leap of faith. You don't want to take that chance. And the only way to advance is to take a chance. Just like my church member, she took that chance in applying for that position. And when she applied for that position, she prayed about it. She meditated on it. She was expecting to get that job and came back that next week and said, I got the job. So if you don't have hope and if you're not expecting anything good, ain't nothing good gonna happen. That's why hope for the best and expect the best. Because I'm expecting the best possible outcome to come out of what I'm going through now. Maybe I can usher somebody into the kingdom. welcome someone into the kingdom. Maybe I can help a person to make up their mind. Maybe they just on that ledge right now and they scared. They at that staircase, and that staircase is leading to their future. That staircase is leading to everything they ever thought they wanted, but they scared to put their feet, that take this first step going up that staircase. Hopefully, and just maybe somebody will say, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. People tell you all the time, oh, girl, you could cook so good. Oh, girl, you could do hair so good. Girl, you surely stylish. Girl, you could do this, you could do that. And then you say, oh, I always wanted to do it. I always want to do it, but I'm scared. Fear just leads. You know what fear is? Fear is false evidence appearing real. Sometimes we could be so fearful and so scared of something that we talk ourselves out of doing something that's going to help us get to the place that we want to be. But we're scared to take that chance. We're scared to take that chance. And that fear that you have, change it. Change that fear in the words that you use. Oh, I can't. I'm scared. But you know what? Be scared and do it anyway. Be scared and still take that chance to do it. And then when you scared and you're gonna do it anyway, then you start feeling like, okay, girl, okay. You start feeling like, okay, I could do this. And then you start feeling hopeful. You start feeling excited. I get excited when I'm afraid. Like Sunday, I was so into my head. I had been into my head all week. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I gotta lead this song, right? This lady gave me this song to sing, Jesus My Rock. And so I'm all in my head about this song. I'm all in this hit in my head about I can't sing that song. I can't deliver that song the way this woman want me to deliver this song. This is what I'm telling myself, right? So this morning, I don't know if it was in my subconscious or what, but this morning I woke up with that song in my head, right? So I'm just moving around. Jesus, Ezekiel said he was will in the middle of the wheel. John talked about him in the book of the seven seals. And I'm just singing the song and I'm just moving. And I'm expecting to sing this. I'm not singing this song right away. She said, I'm going to rehearse this song with you. I'm going to work on you. I'm going to work with you on this song. And I feel this song all in my body because, see, Jesus is who I call him. God is who I call him to be. God is everything I need for him to be. He's my provider. He's my healer. He's the doctor. He's the lawyer. He's my friend. He's a bridge over troubled water. Everything you need him to be. He's the Prince of Peace. When I feel like my world is falling apart, I can call on the precious name of Jesus. I can sit and have a conversation with Jesus, and I know he have a conversation with God, and I know he ain't gonna go back and tell nobody. He ain't gonna tell the Son. He ain't gonna tell the Holy Spirit. That's a conversation between me and him, and I could go to him. I can call on him, and I know he hears me. Might not answer me all the time the way I want to be answered. May not answer me in the time I feel I need him to answer me. But I bet you and I guarantee you, I'm gonna get that answer. But I gotta do something in the meantime. There's something that I have to do in the meantime. I gotta be still and know for sure that God is who God say he is. He said, I am that I am who I am. I am who I am. King of kings, Lord of lords. I gotta believe that. And I gotta know that. I gotta keep hope alive. Be expecting, always be expecting. Pray to ask God, Lord, I need this, Lord, Father God of the heavens, of the universe. Lord, I need. Lord, I need. But see, when you pray, you got to pray with expectations. You got to pray expecting God going to give you exactly what you ask for. It might not be the way you ask for. It's going to be better than anything that you could think or imagine. Hope, chance, and change. You got to change. There's something you have to do in the meantime, when you're asking God for things, when you're praying for things, there's something that you have to do. When you get to the end of the road and see that you can't do nothing else, and you call on when you done did it, try to do everything in your power, and it wasn't good enough, and it was just not enough, then what do you do? What do you do? You lose hope. You get angry with God. You never consulted God, but you getting angry with God because he didn't allow to happen what you wanted to happen, because you didn't talk to him about it. You didn't put it up before him. That's why I say go to God before you go to anybody else. Go to God. Then God will direct you to the people and the places to be. God will give you the questions to ask. Don't lose hope. Always be hopeful, even in the worst of situations. Because as I told you on that prayer meeting, I heard Phaedra say, even when it's bad, it's good. Even when something looked bleak, even when something looked dark, even when something looks smoky, there's a clearing. It's even when it's dark, l- light is somewhere. It could be a person that you never thought would help you. God could lay it on that person's heart. It could be a person that you say you can't stand. And that'll be the very person God will put on their heart to get you out of a situation that you've gotten yourself in. And they were obedient to the work to what God was having them to do. Have you ever been in a grocery store and you just $3 or $4 short? I know I'd have been in the I'd have been in Publix and I was $5 short on something, but I didn't took my wallet, but got left my little change purse in the car where I used, even though I got my wallet, my credit card, and my debit card in there. You know, the debit card, it's almost out. The credit card got maybe they got a lot of money on it. And I didn't, I was short of $5 and I said, hold up, I got the money out in the car. And it was this man. He said, go ahead, I got it. So the cashier looked at the man. He said, go ahead, I got it. So the man took the $5 out. He said, here. And I said, sir, I got the money out in the car. He said, no, don't worry about it. He said, all I want to do is just pass it on to somebody else. And that's what I try to do. That's exactly what I try to do. When somebody do something good for me, I try to do something good for somebody else. So the words for today is hope, hope, hopeful, hopeful, expectation, chance, and change. Those are the words for the day. Those are my thoughts for today. So I hope you go through this day. My hope for you is to go through this day with expectations, changing your mindset, and just taking a chance on life. Just taking a chance on life. If you want something different, do something different. And remember this, those who take chances make advances. And if you don't take a chance, you're not going to advance. That's it. That's all. Peace out. Deuces. I love you. And when you see me in the streets, holler at me and I holler back. Be encouraged today and be an encourager. Be blessed and be a blessing to someone else. And be blessed and just have the best day ever. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice regardless of what's going on. The world didn't give you the joy and the world can't take it away. And that's it. Peace out, deuces, and I'll holler. And y'all holler back. Talk with you tomorrow. Talk with you later.